Hey everybody. I know you haven't seen a whole lot of me lately. I wanted to give you an update on kind of what's going on in my personal life, why I haven't been putting out quite as many videos lately, and what I'm up to, just so you guys know. So I mentioned a little while ago that I was leaving my job to pursue other things. I ended up staying there for a little bit longer than I had originally planned to, but yesterday was my last day. So as of today, I am currently unemployed. I've been in this situation before. Currently, my plan is just to relax for a little while, not stress out too much about getting another job. And after I've had some time to myself, just to sort of recuperate and think about things, I'm planning to try to be an actual freelancer. Because the last two jobs I've had have both started as short-term contracts but turned into something a little bit longer, which wasn't quite what I was planning for them. I'm going to try actually picking up some short-term contracts, possibly in game development, because all the other programming stuff I've been doing has not been directly game-related. So I want to try doing that professionally and see how it goes. And yeah, I'm just kind of going to play it by ear and figure it out as I go along. So in my free time between now and then, what I'm thinking I want to do is read a bunch of books that have been on my bookshelf unread for a while, and kind of try to work on some of the skills that take a large time investment and a lot of commitment, and use this time to really improve those. So I'm talking about basically artistic stuff that would help me with the non-programming aspects of game development, and also programming too. I'll probably want to sharpen up some of my skills in that area too, just because there's always room for more improvement. I don't have everything figured out, not even close. So yeah, I'd like to be able to draw things for my games that I make that don't look terrible, write my own music that doesn't sound too terrible, maybe do some actual writing of dialogue and story and things like that. I'd like to work with other people at some point to actually make some stuff, but I'd also like to have at least some basis in those skills so I could do it on my own if I need to. I don't know, I'm kind of the sort of person who likes to have the ability to be independent and know things myself, get my hands dirty so that I know, if nothing else, just so that I have a basis of knowledge so that I know what I'm getting if I'm working with somebody else or getting something from another source that I'm not making myself. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm doing with my free time. I will have, in theory, more time for videos. You may have noticed that Drawed videos have been not really coming out right now. That is because, well, a little while ago it was just because I was sick and couldn't really record because my voice wasn't up to it. It's actually still recovering. I have a little tickle in my throat that's giving me trouble now and then, but I'm mostly better now. But just the way that game is, and the way the puzzles tax my brain has sort of gotten to me lately, and it's too much mental stress to try to play that on camera right at the moment. This has happened before, and I've taken breaks from it, so this is nothing new. But I will come back to it at some point. Just I'm not ready to just yet. I need a few more spare brain cycles first. I haven't fully committed to putting it on break and replaced it with, I don't know, say Grimrock 2 yet. I may do that, depending on how long I think it'll be on hold, or I might just come back to it soon, and that'll be what fills this time slot. Anyway, so that's what's going on with videos. So a little while ago I talked about writing a game prototype. I spent a couple of weekends on it, and after doing that I've decided that this one's pretty much a dud, so I'll put it up on the screen here. So this is what it looks like now. Last time I showed you this, it probably didn't look too much different, but I was just sort of flying around and going through stuff. There's collision detection now. I can move around and run into things. This little tiny bit of dirt on the ground stops me, so I can stand on it. So what this game was meant to be was sort of a reproduction of, if you watched my Minecraft Legendary series, the Pain Water section where you're swimming through water and lava and air pockets all mixed together. I thought that was compelling enough that it could turn into a game on its own. So that was sort of what this was meant to be. I don't have any health or air or anything, and the level geometry doesn't really make sense. This is just a column of lava here for no particular reason, and I can swim around in it and be fine. But yeah, so like you'd come down here and go through this passage where there's lava on the top and bottom, and you have to not hit it with your head or your feet or whatever. There's a couple of weird things with the way it draws. I couldn't quite get all the layering correct, but anyway, so that's what this game looks like, and after spending as much time with it as I have, I've decided I don't really want to finish it. It's not interesting enough, not as interesting as I expected it to be, so I'll be setting this aside and moving on to other projects. So, those other projects, I've sort of had 3 medium to large game projects kind of kicking around in my head for the last few years, and been working my way up to actually writing them. So I kind of have a decision of which one I want to commit to and turn into the game that I do next. And I still don't really have an answer for that, so let me describe each of them for you. So the first one is a new Water Tower game. I showed you guys Water Tower Classic. That was the original, written 11 years ago in 3 months' time. I was pretty happy with it. It was the first game that I ever released, and I've learned a lot of things since then, and I'd like to make a sequel to it and, sort of do the game design justice. So the sequel, I had this crazy idea that I wanted to use vector graphics for everything. So all of the game's art assets would be in SVG, and I would just draw that so that it'd be fully scalable. I wouldn't have to worry about resolutions and pixels and all those things that come with bitmapped art. It would still be a 2D game, so wouldn't be going 3D for it. I tried to do a 3D sequel to Water Tower once, and it turned out just to be a completely horrible game, so I don't think those game mechanics work too well in 3D. And I have a long document of all the sort of ideas I wanted to put into it. I wanted more interesting water mechanics that actually kind of work like water rather than just this flat thing rising from the bottom at a constant rate. So that's project number 1. Project number 2 is a, let's see, how would I describe it? It's a first-person shooter, but not like you might expect. It would be kind of focused on staying in one place and defending it. Like it would take place kind of in an arena sort of setting, and it's very focused on having lots of different enemy types, which you have to learn their patterns, learn their weaknesses, learn how they interact with each other, and manage, which ones you attack, how you attack them when they're coming at you. So it's sort of a reading and reacting sort of game, more than just like running through a level trying to get from point A to point B. This is more of a you have sort of incoming waves of enemies. Maybe you get like an audio cue for each one that's coming, so you could learn, okay, this thing makes this kind of noise, it's gonna run from here to here, I can't let it get close to this other guy or it'll give it a big attack power buff, and things like that. So I'm sure that explanation doesn't really describe what I have in my head, but it should give you at least kind of an idea of the sort of game that it is. So that one's really interesting to me, and I'm actually kind of leaning toward it for the next thing that I do. But project number 3 is this one's much larger than the other two and much less well defined, so it's probably not going to be the one I choose to work on. It'd be an open world procedurally generated adventure game. which, well, you know, I don't think I want to say too much more about it than that, just because it's so undefined at the moment. I have some interesting ideas for it, but I guess I'm not quite ready to share them. So that one's definitely the largest of the three, and since it's the least well-defined, it's probably not going to be the one I work on next. So one of those other two is most likely to be the next game that I do. So, yeah, those things are on my mind. If I'm going with the arena shooter thingy, I'm going to want to brush up my 3D skills, so what I'm planning to do in the short term is just play with Blender, maybe make some cool creature models and see how it'd be to rig them up, to animate, things like that, because I don't have a lot of experience in that area, and I need to be decent at it to make a game out of it. But yeah, that would be a lot of fun. So hopefully if I make anything cool looking, I could show you guys how it works, but I don't know when and if that would happen. So anyway, that's what's going on with game development for me. Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to resume the Second Sky soonish, or if I decide it's going to be on hold for longer, replace it with something else in that slot, because right now I guess Don't Starve Together is pretty much the only thing running on my channel. And that series has a limited lifespan because we've the two of us have explored most of the game's mechanics at this point, so we'd kind of have to put it on hold to wait for more things to be added. There may be other games with the two of us coming up on the channel at some point. There's nothing's been recorded yet, nothing is definite, so that's not a promise, it's just a thing we've been talking about. So it could happen, and it might not. So anyway, that's what's been going on with me. Yeah, I've been a little bit long-winded about this, but now you know. So I'll try to stay in touch and try not to fall too far behind on videos. But anyway, at the very least, there'll be something running on the channel all the time. So see you guys in the next video.